Long shadows were cast by the morning sun, and the white coffin was painted in shards of blue and gold by St. Michael's Church's stained glass windows. Michael Sullivan stood alone, his fingers trembling as he adjusted the tiny blue dinosaur perched atop Tommy's casket. Tommy had always insisted on fixing the toy's shiny surface. It was a velociraptor. The elaborate arrangement of white roses and falsehoods made the dinosaur seem out of place, as if it were more than just a toy. Tommy had been allergic to roses. Michael's voice was hoarse from hours of silence. He knew Tommy would have hated the flowers, but now there was nothing he could do. His phone vibrated, a reminder for something Lily should have remembered had she bothered to assist with the arrangements. The message appeared on his screen. Sorry I can't make it to the service. Important business meeting in Seattle. I love you both. Give Tommy a kiss. Michael's fingers clenched around the phone. He'd seen the ticket confirmation email. Seattle, another lie in her expanding collection. According to their shared story, she was in Maui, most likely on a balcony of a luxury resort while their son lay cold in his coffin. The funeral director's gentle voice interrupted his thoughts. Shall we begin? Michael nodded, his throat tight. As the family began to settle, he followed, though he couldn't trust his voice. Tommy's kindergarten teachers arrived, accompanied by neighbors who had seen him chase butterflies in their front yard. Distant relatives trickled in, faces wearing masks of sorrow and compassion. His mother appeared at his side. The flowers are lovely, but... She glanced at the casket. Michael, Tommy's eyes were red-rimmed and dry. He was allergic. Lily's absence made Michael's jaw tighten. She's having a business meeting in Seattle, he said, his voice low. His mother's face tightened, but Michael didn't need her judgment. His thoughts were too consumed with the growing ache inside. But he had no time to dwell. More people showed up. Tommy's best friend from kindergarten arrived, holding a hand-drawn picture. Michael took it, murmuring a soft thank you, his heart tightening at the shaky letters. Best friends for eternity. His phone buzzed again. Another message from Lily. Long meetings. Call me as soon as I'm able. Just like she'd done during Tommy's sickness, during the countless hospital stays, and during the nights their son wept for her, not understanding why she wasn't there. The ceremony passed in a blur. Hymns and prayers, his responses automatic. He stood when necessary, sat when asked. Lily's seat remained empty. His phone vibrated occasionally, more lies from her. The priest's voice echoed through the church. During our most painful moments, we can find solace in the knowledge that Tommy is now in God's arms. Michael barely heard him, his thoughts elsewhere. He was fixated on Tommy's final request, his son's last words in the hospital. Mommy is working hard, buddy. Another lie. His sister-in-law read a poem about angels, but the words burned like glass in his throat. At the gravesite, they gave him a white rose, but the mask of mourning concealed the inferno building inside him. Instead of placing the rose, he walked forward and gently placed something else on the casket. The blue velociraptor, next to Tommy's favorite book, The Big Book of Dinosaurs. His phone buzzed again, and Michael glanced down at it. Another message from Lily. I'm thinking about you too. Call me later. As he stood at the grave, his mind was racing. His thoughts were no longer of Tommy, but of the betrayal. He had swallowed the bitter pills of her lies for months, collected proof, and secretly prepared for the day he would dismantle her world. She believed she was starting a new life, but first he would ruin it. The gathering started to disperse, and his mother tried to persuade him to come along. Goodbye, Tommy, he murmured quietly, placing the unopened white rose on the grave. She will regret missing today, he thought. Every step away from the tomb took him closer to the man he used to be and farther from the man she had betrayed. She thought she was safe in paradise with her lover, but soon she would learn that just a few button clicks could turn paradise into agony. 3 months earlier, the cracks in her facade had begun to show. It was a Tuesday night in March. A pot of mac and cheese bubbled on the stove as Michael sat at the kitchen table, helping Tommy with his dinosaur puzzle. The boy frowned, holding up a piece with tiny T-Rex claws. This piece doesn't fit. Michael instructed him to try flipping it around, but his mind was elsewhere. He checked his watch. She was late again. Footsteps sounded on the stairs. She swept into the kitchen wearing a black dress he had never seen before, carrying a sleek briefcase and smelling of unfamiliar perfume. Michael stirred the mac and cheese, trying to stay calm. Working late again, he asked. The Morrison merger is killing me, she replied, adjusting her reflection in the microwave door. Johnson needs these reports by morning. He didn't respond right away, but noticed the new outfit, the scent, and the hair styled just a little too perfectly for a long day at the office. There was something about her tone that warned him, but he didn't push it. Instead, he turned to Tommy. "Mommy, will you read my new dinosaur book with me after dinner?" Tommy asked. His wife sighed. "Not tonight, sweetheart. I have to leave soon." Tommy's bottom lip quivered. "But Mommy, do not wait up," she said, kissing his forehead before leaving. Michael counted to 10, then pulled out his phone and opened the banking app. There it was, $200 charge from Sephora. Perfume and makeup that she had supposedly worn to work that day. Later, after Tommy was tucked into bed, Michael sat in his home office. He pulled up bank statements, credit card bills, lingerie store purchases, hotel bar tabs, and restaurant reservations for two. The evidence was stacking up, but he needed more. He hovered over their phone carrier website. One click. That was all it would take to see her call logs. Did he really want to know? He needed to know. Her iPad was left on the desk. The password was Tommy's birthday. He scrolled through hundreds of messages, each one a new revelation. In the work project folder, there were conversations and pictures that made his stomach churn. The timestamps matched the late meetings. A text from last night. Asterisk fantastic. Looking forward to next week's meeting in Seattle. It'll be perfect. No interruptions, asterisk. Michael's vision blurred. Seattle, the week of her supposed business trip to Maui. He took screenshots and emailed them to himself, then erased every trace of his investigation. Afterward, he walked to the bathroom and vomited. When friends learned of her web of lies, her social circle collapsed. Tommy's phone rang with a text from her, amid his illness and death. Asterisk, my credit card isn't working. The hotel's saying our shared account is empty. What's happening? Are you doing this? Is there an emergency? Asterisk. Michael didn't reply. Instead, he texted her lover's wife, another set of pictures he had found. He had learned months ago that the man wasn't just cheating on his wife. He was also having an affair with Michael's wife. It was all coming apart. Michael checked his watch. Time for phase 3. He sent emails with pictures and records from the hospital. Every missed appointment, every time she chose him over their dying son. He forwarded them to all her friends and relatives. Her phone flashed, showing her face during her first direct call. "What have you done?" she asked. "I've revealed the truth," Michael said calmly. "Answer something you should try sometime." Asterisk, please, Michael. Tell me how Maui is superior to Seattle. Asterisk. He paused before responding. Asterisk, I've been understanding every lie for months. Every time you chose him over Tommy. Was that fair? Asterisk. She tried to justify it, but Michael cut her off. Asterisk, you missed his funeral because you were on vacation in Hawaii. It's particularly interesting for HR, your lover's wife, and your parents. They were placing flowers on Tommy's grave while you were having breakfast with him. Asterisk. Her voice shook. You're ruining my life. Michael clarified. You destroyed it yourself. I'm just making sure everyone knows exactly who you are. The lover's wife messaged him. Asterisk, thank you for being honest with me. I've frozen our accounts and contacted my attorney. Asterisk. Michael sent another message to her lover, watching as the chaos unfolded. Within minutes, the private investigator sent new pictures from 3,000 miles away. The lover was dragging his suitcase through the hotel lobby, abandoning her. Tommy gazed over Michael's shoulder. Trouble in paradise? He asked. Michael smirked. Watch how quickly he abandons her once the money runs out. News of more severed relationships trickled in. Her best friend had just learned the truth.